It is really hot here in California right now, and I've had to turn the air conditioning off because it is very loud. This is my skin video, this is my skin story, because right now my skin is at a really wonderful stage where I have no pimples, no acne, minimal scarring left, which I honestly thought I would never get to a stage in my life where that would ever happen. I genuinely thought I would just be one of those people that would have skin problems forever. And honestly, if this is short-lived and in 6 months or a year my skin goes back to the way it was, you know what, I've had a wonderful time. It's nice to have a break from having poorly skin. It's really wonderful. Anyway, so let me just introduce to you my skin. So my skin is dry, pale, freckly. I'm also 28 years old, so I'm not like a spring chicken, so I don't have that like young person skin. Honestly, I don't know how to begin this video. I got sent a lot of messages and a lot of questions, and I wrote down like a bunch of notes, but I didn't really like write down any kind of like structure at all to this video, so we'll just see how I go. I'm just gonna run off like memory and experiences and like what I feel like is the most important things to talk about. So I'd like to make it clear that I've never been on the pill. I've never been on any kind of like birth control. I have never been pregnant or breastfed, so that is not a factor towards my acne. I know purely that my acne was hormonal and stress related because all of my acne was along the jawline here. And then it slowly creeped up across my cheeks. But if it's along your jawline, that's a lot of like hormonal activity. I didn't get my first period until I was 19 as well, so I feel like I had almost like a late puberty acne experience. And then between 2012 and 2015 was when my skin was at its worst. I don't have any other pictures because I didn't take photos or upload them unless I had photoshopped the crap out of them and covered them in makeup. I have no other photographic evidence other than to document my acne. When I started on Roaccutane, I was like, I want before and after pictures. When now I post pictures of myself with no makeup all the time. Honestly, I wish that I did post more pictures of me with acne. I wish, because I would have kept them, and I would love to see my growth. I'd love to see like, you know, exactly where my scarring was. And so I definitely went out of my way to edit acne out of my pictures, and luckily because I have a background in Photoshop and graphic design, it was quite easy for me to just do that, and I knew what I needed to do. And honestly, like, I don't see a problem with that whatsoever, because when you have acne, it's like you need to do what you can to help put a band-aid over your image of yourself, and that's absolutely fine. Do what you need to do to get through your day. There is nothing wrong with you. You are beautiful, you are wonderful, you will be okay. Where do I start? I was 24 and I had got to the point where I was like, I am not going to grow out of this. This is not something I'm going to just grow up out of. 2011, 2012 to 2015, I was like, I'm done. Like, I have just cut so much out of my diet. I have changed so much about my lifestyle. I've tried so many products. I was trying like daily like face cleansers, exfoliators, and moisturizers that were like water-based, chemical based, and then I was trying like natural products as well, and just like mixing between the two, because you know, you need to change your products regularly for any part of your body to react. Removing dairy, wheat, and a lot of meat from my diet. At the end of the day, I went to a dermatologist and I was prescribed with Roaccutane, and he took one look at me in 30 seconds. He's like, you just need to go on Roaccutane, like, because it was just so thick and like layers and layers of like cystic, pussy acne that just, no matter how much I cleaned it, didn't clean it, moisturized it, dried it out, like it just, nothing ever healed. It just kept piling up on top of each other, and every day I had multiple new pimples on top of healing pimples. And he was like, we just need to start from the beginning. I was prescribed with that, and I was on it for 5 months. It stops all oil production in your body. So that to me wasn't the part that stressed me out. The bit I was nervous about was the emotional and mental side effects to it. And look, like, I already know my brain enough, and I know that being sad is a safe place for me. I'm very self-aware, so I was like, you know what, like, I've got my head square on my shoulders, and I'm aware of what changes will happen, and I know that it will be over, and if I just get to do one lump of this and just get it over and done with, then I can get through it. And after reading other people's experiences with Roaccutane, the one thing that really stuck out to me was they said that they physically felt sad, but mentally seeing their skin cleared up just overshot whatever sadness came with taking the Roaccutane. And I was like, sign me up, I'd rather try this. It's like a means to an end, you know, like, as much as it is really scary to toy with your brain like that, if you can make a difference for the rest of your life, then why wouldn't you give it a shot? And if it doesn't work out, you tried, and you know that you tried it. So that was my mentality going into it, but I definitely had some weird side effects that I cannot explain, and also, like, my dermatologist couldn't explain it, and I don't think anyone's been able to explain it, so it is a little bit weird. But the simple side effects I had was I got this thing that I like to call bubble brain. I felt like there was no water in my brain. I felt like my brain had been like glad wrapped, cling wrapped tight, and all the air had been taken out. And so my brain felt like it wasn't working. I wasn't like connecting. I felt very disconnected from people. And that, I think now, after recently going through a couple of months of sadness, I was like, okay, that's depression. Like, I identified that feeling that I call bubble brain as depression. And I had a lot of back pain. I had a constant headache for maybe 3 months of the 5 months I was on Roaccutane. Like, I just had a headache. And then I got so dry. I don't think anyone can really prepare you for how dry you are. So I was so dry that I had a tub of pawpaw cream in the mornings with my eyes closed, because my eyes were dried closed. I would scoop the pawpaw cream and put it on my eyes so I could open my eyelids, and then I would smear over my mouth because my lips were so chapped and damaged that they were splitting. I looked like the Joker. And then probably the worst part was the impaired night vision and the hallucinations. So, and this is the part that no one really could explain to me why I was having it. Like, since I was a child, I have suffered from sleep paralysis and night terrors, and definitely comes in waves. And if I have something going on in my life that is stressful, it just escalates, and then I can go a couple of months without having anything, and it's beautiful. But it got particularly bad when I was on Roaccutane. It was pretty bad. So if you do suffer from sleep paralysis or night terrors, or like really, really like physical nightmares, and you see things, I'm giving you the heads up, it is going to get probably 4 to 5 times worse. I literally saw a baby's head floating up the curtain, shaking, and exploded, and then fell back down. I was seeing things coming out of my walls, floating around me. I would sit up, bat it away. I would feel grass growing on my bed and like entangling me. I was like, my whole bedroom wall burst into flames, shook and dismantled itself and fell on top of me. It was like intense. And I'm pretty sure when I was here last time was in 2015, and I ruined Frenchie's day by telling her that one night she got up in the middle of the night and walked out of her bedroom, and I saw someone follow her out, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have told you that, because I know that that's my brain. Yeah. So that happened, and I just like to mention I've never done any type of drugs before, and I don't really drink either, so like it is purely just like the chemicals in my brain. But honestly, like these three pictures I think were like 3 months apart. Like, can you believe that difference, and how much like the redness disappeared, and like, oh, it was amazing. A year after that was great. I had minimal pimples, 1 or 2. I had scarring, absolutely fine. Was happy with just scarring, just so happy I didn't have redness and acne. And then what happened was it started coming back. A little bit of acne, like a few clusters in these areas, but nothing like what it was. It did bum me out, and I was like, oh crap, I don't want to go on that again, because I just managed to like balance out my sleeping again. And then I started getting the acne on my arms and on my back, and that's when I was like, ah crap, these are what have worked for me. So there's this brand called Ren, and they do this really nice, like, it's called like a milk cleanser. That was amazing. I think it only cost like $25 Australian, and it lasted me like 6 months. It was great. One thing I learned is that cleansers that foam up are drying. So this Ren one doesn't foam. It's like a milky cleanser. Lush products like sort of on and off worked for me. When my skin gets to like a nice, like balanced, not constantly breaking out time, I'll then change products to some like natural products, because I want to give my skin like a break from the chemicals being rubbed in my face. So I will use like some Lush cleansers. I love the one that's yeah, orangey yellow. I'll put it up on the screen. That was my favorite like face cleanser, but eventually those stopped working for me, and I have to go back to the chemical ones, which is fine. So been great. Oh, the thing from DM Chem I love the most is this like serum. That was amazing for healing my scars. Amazing. I'm gonna put everything in links down below so you can have a look and do some research and see what you think. There is like a foaming cleanser, but I feel like it's not that drying whatsoever, and your skin does feel quite clean. And then they have this like a mask. I'm trying to remember, because I've literally used it all up. It's gone. It's back in Australia now. And then when I came here, I've been using, it's called Malin and Goats. I got like a cleanser, an eye gel, a moisturizer, and this like oil drop things. They've been great. And then yeah, so those were my favorite products that have worked for me. I've used it over the years, and a lot of other products I've used like a few times and been like, this is trash. This is not going to do anything for me. And when you have aggravated skin, you need to avoid exfoliating a lot, and I exfoliate probably once every like 2 weeks. And my favorite exfoliator is this Origins, it's like passion fruity, and it's got like and it's like super natural feeling, and it smells amazing, and that's my favorite. This big like this like squeezy bottle has lasted me a few months, but it'll definitely last me like a year or 2. And then if you have texture and pores, I highly recommend the Origins Pink Clay Mask. I have been using that for years, and I love using both of those. I love using the Pink Clay Mask and the Orange exfoliating guy before I do shoots or take photos or wear makeup, because it honestly like closes all my pores, and then the scrub brightens. Look, honestly, I don't know which one you're meant to do first, but I just usually do the clay mask first and then wash it off and then use the exfoliator afterwards. I don't know. I don't know. Whew, I am sweating. It is hot in here. The other thing is foundation. It's really important to find a foundation that doesn't make your skin angry at you. The foundation that works best for me at the moment is L'Oreal Pro Glow foundation. It's awesome. I love it. And that's pretty much my favorite. I used the Revlon Color Stay like 3 times and it gave me pimples and I was like, goodbye. MAC Fix Fluid, I feel like sometimes give me pimples, but I feel like it gave me pimples because I had been using it for so long. So I had to mix up my foundation because, as I keep saying, my skin just responds well to mixing things up and changing sometimes. So I changed it and it works. I tried the Born This Way foundation and it just brought up all my texture and I was like, no thank you. Yeah, and then the other thing I recommend you do is buy really good face wipes or micellar water. Whenever I use cheap face wipes, my skin just hates me for it so much. And I got this really good micellar water from Mecca Cosmetica. It's like $20. It lasted me like 6 months. That was great. And then I've used like Garnier ones, but I want to buy like a new good micellar water again because I feel like that really made a difference for me. Using micellar water as opposed to cheap face wipes. And if I buy face wipes, I buy like the expensive ones, like the Johnson's ones. Never use those, what are they called, like Wisp or Wish, Swish, or I don't know, they're awful. Swipes, or I don't know, bad, just bad. They and like all the little like hairs in them go into your eyelashes and you're blind. Like. And then the other thing I noticed is like you got to look at like other elements in your life with your skin. So other elements I looked at were my bed sheets, my the water where you live. Here in America, your water is like, in California, the water's so bad. So if you don't have a filter on your shower, oh my gosh, like for the first week I was here, I was washing my face in the sink, and then certain friends, you were like, oh no, wash your face in the shower, we have filters on the shower heads. And I was like, oh my gosh, because my skin was starting to get almost, it looked like I was building like bacteria in my face or something, like I had a rash in my like acne zone, and I was like, no! I think I've covered a lot actually. I don't suffer from blackheads unless I've been like camping and it's just like dirt. One thing that I got asked a lot was how people dealt with picking and scratching their pimples. Like, you just gotta try your best not to touch your face. If you have a pimple come, let it go. Just like, you don't want to damage the surface of your skin more and more. Like, you just gotta just like ride it out, ride it through. I don't know, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that people get acne, and it's just like, it's just this thing, and you pull the short straw and you just have this stuff on your face that you feel like you have no control over and nothing you do works. And it's just like, it's so heartbreaking. Whenever I see anyone in the street or come into my work with acne, I just want to give them a hug and be like, don't worry about it. But then just don't mention it, don't bring it up unless you have had acne yourself and you can actually genuinely talk to them and be like, good luck, you know, like good luck on your acne journey, you know. But I used to hate it when like people would come up to me and be like, oh honey, your acne, your skin, you just gotta wash it more and like go out in the sun. I'm like, leave me alone, like I don't know you. Like, if you knew how embarrassing this was for me, you wouldn't say anything, you know, because sadly you feel so alone when you have acne, because I feel like people with acne do not have other friends with acne, and you just have these friends who are like, oh my god, I got one pimple and it's the end of my life, and you're like, can't relate. I just had to sit in front of the air conditioner for like 10 minutes because I felt like I was about to pass out, and I feel like my camera is about to overheat as well. So, and also while I was gone, I posted on my story, because Instagram story now has this thing where you can ask a question, so I asked everyone to tell me about their dogs and say hi to me, and I'm getting the best responses ever, so I got a bit distracted. Anyway, so we're going to talk about Dermapen skin needling, and I've got on the Skincare Australia Clinic's website, because that's who I went to, and it's for tightening, lifting and rejuvenating and resurfacing the skin, which is what I desperately needed. So I waited to get skin needling done until this year, and I was contacted by Skincare Australian clinics themselves, and they offered me the treatments for free, so I didn't pay for them. So this is not sponsored, they're not paying me to say any of this, but they offered me free treatment, and yeah, because I'm lucky that I reach out and tell people that I have acne scarring, and I post, you know, makeup pictures, and they offered me this wonderful service. So thank you so much. You are all angels. And I honestly had the best experience going there. So I went to the one in Whitfords in Perth, Australia. I've done, I think, 4 or 5 sessions. The first session I did, I had a consultation that went for 45 minutes. Like, such a long time. They wanted to know everything about my skin history. They wanted to see pictures. They wanted to see, and you create like a plan. It's so professional. They were the most wonderful angels ever. I felt so welcome and safe, and I could just trust them with my face, because it is, for me, like it's so intense. Like, it's an intense procedure. And we knew exactly where we want to focus on, and it is a procedure where you can just, like, certain areas can be more intense. There's a hummingbird outside the window right now. Okay. Wow, there was literally, I'm in front of like a big window, and there was literally a hummingbird just hovering, staring at me, and then it just kind of like wandered away. Oh my god, that was so cool. Anyway, yeah, there are parts of your skin where they can go deeper and focus on, so we went deeper in these areas here, and I think a bit like on my forehead as well, but mostly in these areas we went really, really deep. And it's good because you can do all the hard to reach places. Yeah, so we could go like around the nose and around the lips, because it is like, it looks like a tattoo gun almost. Promotes scarless healing and natural collagen reproduction, similar to fractional laser treatments, IPL, laser resurfacing, and chemical peels, but without the side effects and downtime. And there's some really great before and after photos on here. It's crazy what it can do. So even if you have like discoloring or hyperpigmentation or other types of skin issues, I'm sure they can help you out. Definitely, if you live in Perth, I highly recommend going and seeing them. They are so amazing, so professional, and they've got all information on their websites, and you can email them for quotes and make a phone call. They are so easy to talk to. You can literally just call up and have a chat. And so all their information's down below. The first time I went, my skin reacted probably the strongest. I was bright red for like 4 or 5 days after, but then the second and third time I went, I was pink for like an hour. And then the 4th time I went, I asked her to just go ham on. I was like, go ham, make me bleed. So she did. It's pretty intense. So here's a video of me getting it done. Yeah. And you can use numbing cream, but I was advised not to use numbing cream because numbing cream is almost like an anti-inflammatory, and for her to figure out whether your skin is responding well and if you're getting to the layers you need to get to, your technician needs to see you bleeding, where the scar tissue is, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like that's the best way to describe it. So I was like, yep, if you don't want to use numbing cream, that's fine. I can tolerate that pain. I don't necessarily have a high pain tolerance. I just am stubborn, and as long as you tell me it's gonna hurt, I'm like, I can do it. I can do it. So that's what I did. And there were points where she was working on my forehead, and it like hit all like the nerves in my forehead, and I had this huge sneezing fit, which was pretty funny. Yeah, it is pretty intense, but look at my skin. Like, look at this skin. It is incredible. I'm 28 and I've never had better skin in my life. Maybe I'll just finish off the video by talking about how you can still be confident with acne, because just because you have acne doesn't mean you should hold back on things in life. And honestly, if you feel like people are going to judge you for your acne, or think you're disgusting, or think like you're unattractive, then that's a reflection on them, not you. That is their loss. And anyone who has suffered from acne would never judge you for your appearance. They would never think twice. And honestly, like, having acne makes you such a strong person, because you just, like, you know how it feels to have your face, like, not be your face, or like it is your face. Like, it's this weird thing where, like, you want to accept it so bad so you can just get on with life, but like you feel like you can't, and you feel like you're out of control. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, you are amazing with acne. Like, you're okay. You know, you leave the house with no makeup on. Like, show those pimples to the world, you know, like, just do it. I feel like, honestly, when I did wear makeup with acne, I felt like I was looking after my skin more than when I didn't wear makeup and had acne. Because you're cleaning your face more regularly, or you're like paying attention to your face, but it would feel so sore when you're putting on makeup. Oh, and when you're on Roaccutane, don't even bother wearing makeup. Just don't even bother. You're not wearing makeup for 5 months, or however long you're on it for. Just don't even bother. Like, you put lipstick on and it literally just like flakes off within like a minute. I'm not even exaggerating. I didn't even bother. I wish I could turn to myself back in, you know, 2012 to 2015 and be like, don't worry. Just let time heal. Just leave, like just do what you need to do. Honestly, like, if you need to wear lots of makeup and Photoshop your pictures and edit your pictures so you don't look like you have acne, do it. If you feel like you need to be proud and show your acne, do it. Like, just do what you need to do in your style. There's no right or wrong way to have an approach about acne. There's no way I had a really bad case of acne, but it was enough for me to have to get help. It was enough for me to feel like a monster, and to feel disgusting and out of control and in physical pain, because it was all on my arms and my face. So, like, how do I end this video? Well, yeah, thanks for watching. I'm sure this is another really long video, like my hair video. I'm sorry, but you asked me a lot of questions, so I wanted to just get on top of it. So I hope you have a fabulous day. I should have uploaded my Warped Tour and road trip video before this, and then I'm gonna upload another vlog when I went to San Diego. Yeah, and then I'm gonna upload, I really want to do like a makeup tutorial again, because you guys seem to love makeup tutorials, and while I'm here and Frenchie's got to set up with backgrounds and actual lighting, I'm gonna just try and do some like makeup looks, and it's gonna look really cute. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now, and I love you all. Thank you so much for listening to my acne story. I really hope I answered all your questions. Yeah, let me know. Comment down below if this was actually useful. If you want more information, I'll answer any other questions down below. And yeah, I love you all. Thank you so much. Subscribe! Bye!